All right, so this video is gonna be all over the place, wherever Josh parked. We got 6.0 stuff we gotta do. Josh, exhaust tip. If you guys saw on the second channel, I built him a custom exhaust. He's gonna have to paint it. I told him he would, but thanks for parking in the water, Josh. Hold on. So we're gonna install that. I think right about there. Looks good. I built him a full 3-inch system on the other channel. If you guys want to go see it, it starts right there and then goes to a 3. Up and over the axle, doesn't rub or anything. So I'm gonna get this tightened up. I'll get you guys some sound clips and then I'm gonna show you some sick. All right, we'll see if he likes it. I know that's a shit lighting, but there you go. It's got an exhaust tip.
Hooray.
All right, you're good. Exhaust tips change the sound of engines. He does still have the cats. Alright, you can drive it if you want. Exhaust tip changed the tone a little bit. That's up to you. I mean, you'll notice it more on the road, but I know the camera's gonna make it sound raspy. It's not too bad. Straight piped minivan. We do those here. What do you think?
It's nice because of the storage units on both sides.
Oh yeah. What do you think?
I'm happy with it. It's
okay.
Way better than stock.
All right. Well, now I got to do the 6L. So this is an exhaust back pressure sensor off of a 6-liter, and this one was giving them some problems. So we're gonna pull this tube, clean everything up on the inside, get it remounted, and go from there. But this will cause you some problems, so we're gonna take care of that today and throw it back on. All right. So I'm gonna try to do this on camera, but it's gonna be tricky. So take this up in here. Same thing over here. There we go. So she's all cleaned out. Now we can put the sensor back. All right, we have her remounted. This wasn't actually mounted before. You can see there's supposed to be a hole there. So we're gonna do that for him as well, but get this thing put back on. It's all cleaned out, and tighten it down correctly, because whoever did this before did not have this tight. So let's go throw it on. So exhaust back pressure sensor, it came in with a loud hissing noise. Somebody didn't put it back in properly, so I told him I'd clean it for him as well. So we have it actually locked and secured and tight. It was an absolute pain in the ass. I had to clean all the threads off and this and that. So looks like they're using this truck finally. Damn, they're definitely using that fucking heater, I'll tell you that. Hell yeah. She starts way better. God, I fucking love VGT turbos. I don't care what anybody says, I love them. They're my favorite thing about a diesel truck. Now we just got to diagnose the 4-wheel drive. And this is a fun one. So I verified the switch does work. You can see. But we are not getting 4-wheel drive at all. I did go through and check the transfer case. We did do a test. Everything was fine. So we're gonna keep going through here and seeing if we can diagnose it, because it's not coming up on the dash, but when we do the transfer case test, it will show that 4-wheel drive lights up here. So between the relays having some issues, the relays, I was able to flip them around and get a signal, but you can hear that. So I definitely think it needs a transfer case motor. This one's just clicking. So I'm gonna let him know. And generally these things don't fail too often, but in this case, definitely need transfer case motor, and then also at the same time I flipped these relays, and that's, yeah, there's some corrosion, not that one, this one here. There's some corrosion in on that one too. So I'm gonna call the customer, let him know, and that's not saying that there isn't more issues down the road, because you guys know how this truck has been, but at the bare minimal right now, I'm gonna put this back in auto. Doesn't seem like we have any vacuum issues. I checked everything on the inside. Come on, go the other way. Yeah, so everything on the inside with the HVAC and all that shit works, so everything here should be good between those relays over there. And I mean, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna call him and let him know that I think that's what we need: a transfer case motor and two, I'll get 2 relays as well. All right, so this should be the last you guys see of this thing for a while. I don't know, we're definitely can't fix it today, because we can't, the motor will not be here until Monday anyway. So I'm gonna let him take his truck back. I put his hubs back in auto, and this thing's ready to go. He should have no leaks. I'm gonna go test drive it, make sure that we're good. You never know with these things, but yeah. So transfer case motor, 4-wheel drive. This thing's an open rear truck as well. But let's start going to get this 2nd gen transmission in. All right, so we finally got all the pieces for Josh's truck. We got a new rear main with a wear sleeve. We got a new dual disc clutch in this box here. We got a bunch of new parts. He also wants me to drill into the factory cover, or the factory, you know, we're gonna drill into the crank for the, he wants to rev this thing to 4,000. And well, we'll start with the trans. So I got to figure out how to, if you guys will see in here, which by the time you guys see this video, I'll probably already have it done. But if you can see down in there, because whoever put this back together, thanks for rushing it. Appreciate y'all. That's supposed to be inside of there. Luckily, it's a pin. So I got to figure out the easiest way to get that pin out of there and then press it back in. And I'm wondering if pressing this out, how far I can get this rod to slide. Actually, I don't think, even if I get that out, I guess it really won't matter, because it won't slide any more than that. It's already maxed out. So, yeah, I got to figure out the best way to put that pin out. So we're going to do that. I told Josh he should get himself a headache rack. We're going to rewire his auxiliary fuel tank. We're going to rewire this in. And he needs some big boy meaty tires. But I got him this thing. So this is the easiest thing to do. His 5 to 6 inch tip that I gave him fell off. So we're going to do a 5 to 8 from Bertha. So let's get this thing slapped. So Josh has this truck so low that if you guys can see up there, it is smashing the exhaust into the axle. And if you raise the truck up, it would clear the axle more, but it's already on the hangers. It hits the spare tire. So, yeah. Josh is like me. He likes his truck low. But, unfortunately, there are some consequences with having such a low truck. And then on top of that, him pulling a gooseneck. If you guys can see, that hanger's up there. And there ain't shit you can do about it. But, yeah. You can hear that. We definitely got to figure something out with that, because it is what it is. But he's got an 8-inch tip. And that's all that matters. He's been bugging me for this thing for the better part of the last year. So now he has it. And it's free. I didn't charge him for it. Alright, so we're still trying to figure this thing out. I got this bolt out to get me a little bit of leeway in there, and I still cannot get it. I got to grab a punch to get that punch down through so we can kind of move it so I can get it to like roll up this way. But man, them fucking clearances is tight. And I don't know if we're going to be able to fix that without pulling it apart. So this whole thing, it sucks that it's like right in the center. But he has a Valair quiet disc dual disc on this truck. And I mean, I don't know. I'm still not sold on these dual discs. I don't like them. That was one reason I went back to the automatic, was I was just tired of shifting with the dual disc clutch. If I could get a clutch that was like stock feeling and could hold 500, 600 horsepower, I would love that. But dual discs, I just don't like the clutches. So Josh's actually, he got all of the life out of his. That dual disc clutch is probably has one good, you know, pass down a drag strip on it before it goes. So we got a nice new one here. So I was wrong. It's Monday now, and I didn't have enough content to just post you guys a random video. So we just did the transfer case motor. I went through and diagnosed that. The transfer case was a little tight. So we're gonna test on this hill here. Now remember before, it would just click. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in neutral. I know it's shift on the fly. Let's do 4 low. Let's see if it works. Oh, it does. Look at that. Now we're gonna put her back in 2. Look at that. So I fixed that fucking exhaust back pressure sensor, and we still have some sort of hiss. But I'll back it in. That is 4-wheel drive complete. Took me a little bit longer to replace it than I thought it was going to. It was a little bit dirty, but I'll pull this thing over and I'll let you guys listen to it. And then we're gonna go work on Josh's truck, and then I am just waiting on I'm just waiting on my drive shaft to be done, so that will be a separate video. All right, so back to the Josh truck. I did get approval while the transmission's out, and we got to figure out that stuff. We're gonna get the spare tire deleted and out of here so that we can lift the exhaust up off the axle, because if you guys don't know, Josh has drop shackles on his truck, which lowers it down even further. And we were gonna do the airbags. We have the airbags over there, but unfortunately, the gooseneck gets in the way. So we need to get that gooseneck out that's down in there. And to do that, we need to pull the bed because they welded it to the frame, and then we can put his rails and stuff back in. So that's gonna be another day project. Main goal is we're gonna get this wired correctly, and we're also gonna get this thing lifted up so that we can get the spare tire out, and then we can hang that up. And we are going to go to here, I'll just show you guys what's going on down under here. So this is what we're gonna do right now while we're waiting on trans stuff, is we're just gonna weld this one, weld that one, redo these hangers, and then it looks like, oh boy, that's how they did that? All right, so we're gonna remove this and just weld this straight here, and this here is gonna get removed as well. So hopefully, yeah, I think we're gonna end up cutting this piece off. And yeah, because you can see it's hitting the roof here. Josh orientated this because it was hitting the trans or some shit, and you can see how close it is to his trans bracket. So we're gonna have to do all that. Definitely gonna require a ton of cleaning, but that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if we're gonna do it in this video though. This thing is filthy as shit and needs cleaned. It needs sprayed underneath, and yeah, it's just god awful under there. But forget if I showed you guys, this thing is literally sitting on the axle. So we have a ton of room to go up, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up by a couple of inches, but you can't go up with the spare tire there. It is hitting the spare tire. So we will fix that as well. All right, so I don't know where we left off in the beginning of this video. So this is gonna be several weeks later. I have been way busier than I have ever been before. Like, this month has just been insane. And sorry, I didn't film a lot of it, but we've been busy. This has been a record profit month, a record just everything. So I'm back in the shop. I gotta get this truck done. This setup over here, I gotta get all the fluids drained out of this. This one's going to Miami around the 7th to the 9th. We gotta drain all the fluids out of it, all this and that. That customer understands. We've been going through like 7+ dealerships and not a single one can get us the parts for it. It is recalled and they are telling everybody to go pound sand. So if anybody has a way of getting this freaking thing, and he understands because he doesn't use this truck for work, but it was torn apart. He got the wrong part. We need that part. So we need this guy here, this whole thing. So next step, this trans is getting sent out on the 31st. Josh is coming to pick it up and go have it out warrantied because I guess when they put it together, they just didn't put it together right is the only downside. Like this piece, they did not shift test it. And like, they just slapped it back together and sent it down the road. So he's gonna get that fixed. So I ran out of space to be filming on the phone. So we got this up on the jack stand. We've been super busy. I gotta get this up in the air. I don't think Josh has a rear main leak. I think that when we did the cam seal, I'm gonna show you guys, on the 6.7 Cummins, they have and the 5.9, the later ones, they have a little cam seal back here, right back there. And I don't think, I'm gonna put bets on it now. I don't think that the rear main is leaking. I think that it's a cam seal problem. And 12 valves didn't have cam seals, they had caps. And I think that's what the problem is. So what we're doing today, because I want to get everything done and then we can slap the transmission in on the 31st or whenever he gets it back, taking the spare tire down, we are moving his exhaust up as far as possible because right now it's sitting on the axle, but if you go up any higher, it's hitting the spare tire. So he gave me permission. We get rid of the spare tire. We lift that up higher. I'm going to be welding any of those that have the clamps. I'm going to be welding them and getting rid of the big clamps because the problem is on a 2nd gen and a 5-inch exhaust, it just does not fit very well. So anything that's hitting the frame, we're gonna be welding or putting different clamps on. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys where we're at. We got the spare tire down. We have this lifted up where I want it. Kind of like a happy medium between the axle and the bed. Realistically, I could probably get closer to the bed. We got a jack stand down here. I've taken every clamp off. And if you come down here, I took my gloves off for some reason, but right there, this actually does slide out. So we're gonna weld the 4-inch to 5-inch adapter to the downpipe and probably just use a band clamp here. So that way we have the clearance. We'll weld here. Gonna weld there, or I mean band clamp, one or the other, but we definitely need to address these hangers. This one I was able to get to work, so like it'll stay in this spot, but that one up there, we need to modify that and cut a lot out of it. So shouldn't be too bad. We have the angle grinder and a welder, so we'll figure all that out, and then I'll probably, let's see, what do you guys think about that angle? I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, just trying to make it so that Josh doesn't have any more exhaust problems because like I said, that thing pounding on the axle and also it rubbing on the side of the frame. I like the Diamond Eye kits, but realistically, those clamps are garbage. So get you some of those band clamps or V-bands, either or, but really hate those crush style clamps. So I have a whole set. I have the exhaust over here. We're actually going to be repurposing this and putting it on another truck. But these clamps here, I like these a lot more. So these are only for hangers. All right, so I lied, and the way that I did it is definitely a little bit different than what I was going to do. So first things first, if you have a 5-inch exhaust on a 2nd gen Dodge, I'm going to tell you, come in here. Seat bolt right there, not that one, the one on the inside right there. Take it, cut about 1/2 inch off of it, all right? Reason being is your exhaust is gonna hit. Now, keep in mind, this motor is angled this way a lot. When we put the trans in, it's gonna go like this, so we're gonna get a little bit more clearance. So the exhaust, wow, wind. The exhaust is slightly hitting up there, but that's only because the motor's facing that way. Now, I welded that. I pulled this whole exhaust down, welded that, welded all the way down to where that clamp is at. I did not weld over the axle pipe. And then that clamp right there is for the hanger. So I welded a hanger down there, and then up here I just put 2 tack welds right there because I'm just gonna keep the 5-inch to the 4 like that. And then Josh needs to get a clamp that'll work. So we welded all of that, just fucking laid in the heat. And now, you guys will notice, this exhaust does not hit anything. Now, granted, the position of the exhaust is going to change once that transmission's in. So, next step is we're going to pull the adapter plate and the clutch and all that, and we're going to see, did I fuck up? Did I put a rear main in wrong? Is the rear main the problem? Or do I just suck at putting cam seals in? All right, so nothing's loose in here. Everything's good. We took everything off. First thing, you got to get these off, and then 2 14 mil nuts. Then you got to get these off, and then you got to get these off, and then all this stuff comes off. So it's either 18 or 19. I'm gonna hit that with an impact, get those off, and we will see if we have a rear main leak. Ha! Called it. I'm making a second point on this. To that idiot who told me that every diesel shop uses a wear sleeve because they leak. There's no leak on the rear main. There's no leak. There's no leak. That's 100% cam seal. We just didn't clean this out from last time, but yeah, no, that's a cam seal problem. So we're gonna pull this again, and I'm gonna replace that with a actual seal. So no rear main. All right, guys, it's not leaking a ton, but it's leaking. Actually, no, it definitely was leaking a ton. So I'm gonna get that pulled out of there, and we're just gonna, actually, you know what? I guess you can't put a cam seal in there. I gotta figure that out. Figure out what to do about that, because I don't want him having any more issues. And we didn't pull this because of the, rear main thinking. Isn't? It's definitely hard to tell. Is that leaking? I don't know. Now I see oil here, but I don't know if that might have just been residual, because I see it here, but yeah, so definitely leaking from here. That's crazy. Well, let me know what your guys' advice on that is, because you can't put an actual cam seal in here. I thought you could. You cannot. So we have to reuse that cap, and I don't do enough of them. I don't think, yeah, you can see it's dripping right now. So, I don't know. Fun. I feel like, yeah, it was getting on the back of this and blowing it everywhere. So it might look like the rear main, but I'm gonna definitely verify it. This was all dry when I pulled this. So I guess we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. What's your best way of doing these? We started using the right stuff. So we're getting rid of anything to do with orange, and we are going with, well, like I said, we're going with the right stuff from now on. And then the only leak this motor has, besides this cam seal, was the valve cover. So everything else has been sealed. God damn. Fucking wind today is crazy. Dude, I gotta close that door. Oh, man. Fucking wind today, and we're like right in the wind tunnel, so all the leaves and shit blow into the shop. Yeah, look at that. Fuck. It's just too windy. Yeah, like my mat's getting blown everywhere and shit. Fun. But let me know what, oh wow, even that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. This should be the last project we got to get out of here. I'm looking for a wire harness for a 2006 Dodge automatic transfer case, the electronic one, if any of you guys can come through. Also, the guy who was buying the motor, so don't worry, I've already been paid for it, but unfortunately, the guy totaled the truck. So we have a 6.7 Cummins. I got to go back and look at the mileage. This thing runs everything. I took the turbo. That's why I bought the whole truck. But yeah, like I said, I took the turbo, so that's why it's like this. But this is a good running 6.7 Cummins. Has a towing cam, has a fluid damper. You cannot use the fluid damper on the 5.9s. At least they don't fit. So if anybody wants a motor, come get it. Oh, $4,000 for the motor, by the way. But yeah, so I'm gonna get cleaned up. We're done for the day. It's Saturday. I let Josh know, and we'll start messing with that cam seal probably come Monday. I gotta get all my tools back in Bertha because we are taking Bertha tomorrow on mobile jobs, and then we're busy as shit all next week. I don't know if we'll be busy in here, but we are busy. So